We at Modi and GroupM have really leaned into using connected TV as a way to deliver incremental reach and frequency against a brand's priority audiences. So we're working with the data companies, which I'm sure you're familiar with, probably LiveRamp and Experian, to identify what those priority audiences are and their scale. And then at the same time layering on something like ACR targeting on top of that to get at those who are either underexposed or unexposed from potentially a linear television schedule. And then delivering incremental connected TV ads to those types of audiences. And then on the back end, we are measuring, business results from those same companies. So it is kind of like a closed loop solution to both deliver incremental reach and frequency in terms of media, and then also prove that it worked from a business standpoint on the back end. What's helping us really identify audiences are those third-party data companies and sometimes even client first-party data, whether it's to deliver actual incremental against those audiences or even to suppress them, in terms of existing customers. Additionally, the ability to layer on ACR targeting for viewership data is also helping us because we're able to identify unexposed or underexposed homes that are within target. In terms of what we need and where we need to do a better job, at least in the industry, is I think probably from a cross-platform measurement perspective, so we're not just measuring linear TV and connected TV or connected TV and a digital video buy. I think those things really need to come together and we need to do a better job of showing that to brands and expressing that. It's definitely a fragmented marketplace. We've seen a number of publishers, wanting to also, sell directly and then also at the same time sell programmatically and then also make their inventory available to aggregators or networks or even device partners. So, we're in a space where there's a lot of potential and there's a lot of fragmentation. Where we want to work is using connected TV as a way to find that incrementality and drive incremental reach or additional frequency where we know a brand's customers are more likely to convert. I think in the future and compared to where we work today, I do think there will be more of a layering on of personalization or dynamic creative where brands and agencies will have the ability to go to the same, publishers or content producers that they know and love as consumers. And, they'll be buying broadly, but they'll be able to deliver, personalized messages to, different groups of their customers. And then at the same time, I think there will be a layering on of some of the other companies that have access to that type of viewership data, whether it's a Samsung or a Roku and partners with ACR data, to kind of fill in those gaps where they'll be able to layer on that incrementality in terms of, someone who just doesn't subscribe to cable or someone who doesn't watch a lot of TV and be able to deliver incremental reach and frequency on top of that. So I think that's what it'll become. In terms of where the DSPs come into play, I think the DSPs today have really, been at the forefront of kind of aggregating some of these different channels together and being able to identify, reach and frequency from a few different sources. And I do think that'll continue to expand and grow. Some of those partners are doing that same licensing of TV data or ACR data to be able to understand, how a linear schedule is delivering and be able to add incrementality or show incrementality on top of that. So I think it'll be, a combination of both, where there'll be that degree of, buying broadly and delivering personalized messages, and then, using, more partners with really specific access to first and third party data or viewership data to fill in those gaps and find that incrementality. And brands will have the ability to buy and negotiate that directly or do it programmatically through a DSP. I think the capabilities will kind of end up meeting and matching each other where they'll have a preference of how they want to transact.